Good day, friends and children. Welcome to Green Park English. This is Professor M. Desingarajan, podcast number 11. This course will train you to be a better speaker of English. Part 1. Conversation. Hello, is it Trinity Book World? Yes, sir. What can I do for you? This is Varun Prasad from Green Park School calling. I am the school librarian. May I speak to your sales manager, Mr. Ajay? Mr. Varun, you are talking to the sales manager, Ajay. What can I do for you? Oh, Mr. Ajay, good morning. Our school committee has decided to buy a number of children's books from your store for our library. That's nice to hear, sir. We are privileged to supply books to you. Thank you. I would like to place an order for 200 library books of different authors in fiction and reference sections. Sure, sir. It's our pleasure to serve you. Send the list with titles, authors, and publishers' names. We'll send you the price list, and the books will be supplied within a week. Sure, I'll mail the list by the evening. Bye, Mr. Ajay. Thank you, sir. Nice talking to you. Hello, children. This is part 2, passage to read. Nature needs more from us. Children, before the global problem of coronavirus, we were so worried about global warming and climate change. At the end of the first 2 months of lockdown worldwide, in the months of April and May, we learnt that nature was reviving its proactive and procreative activities. People observed the return of dolphins in the Mediterranean and animals and birds roaming happily around human habitations. But still, we need to do a lot more to revive nature and its phenomenal self-generative capacity. We have effected some reduction in greenhouse gases due to less use of automobiles and shutting down of many factories around the world. But a new study finds reductions in greenhouse gases are insufficient to substantially slow down warming. The study scientists argue that to continue the benefits of reduced emissions, policymakers around the world will need to adopt green economic recovery strategies. Friends, part 3. Some words for pronunciation practice. 1. Communique. An official statement given to the media. The secretary gave a communique on behalf of the minister. 2. Counterfeit. An imitation of something valuable to defraud people. They received some counterfeit currencies in the bank. Number 3. Quorum. Minimum number of people required to make a meeting valid. The Lok Sabha needs 1/3 of the members for a quorum. 4. Rancor. A long-standing bitterness towards someone. The two families expressed their rancor during the dispute. 5. Rationale. Logical reason for providing a belief. There should be rationale behind every explanation you give. 6. Coup, C-O-U-P, coup, C-O-U-P-E. These two words can be contrasted and learnt. The word COUP is pronounced as coup, which means a revolt and capture of power against a ruler. The word COUPE is pronounced as coupe, which means a compartment in a railway carriage. COUPE with an accent mark can be pronounced as coupe. Coupe, coupe. Friends and children, it's song time, part 4. The song today is Before the Throne of God Bow.
Before the throne of God plea. A great high priest whose name is love, whoever lives and pleads for me. My name is graven on his hands, my name is written on his heart. I know that while in heaven he stands, no tongue can bid me thence depart. No tongue can bid me thence depart. When Satan tempts me to despair and tells me of the guilt within, upward I look and see him there, who made an end to all my sin. Because the sinless Savior died, my sinful soul is counted free. For God the just is satisfied to look on him and pardon me. To look on him and pardon me.
Friends and children, it's part 5, story time. Today's story is The Ransom of the Red Chief by O. Henry. The story. Bill and Sam were two crooked thieves. Once they were in the US state of Alabama. They needed some money to start a new business, so they thought of kidnapping a rich man's child to raise the money. The town they were in was called Summit. They planned to kidnap Mr. Dorset's son and demand $2,000. They already had $600 in hand. There was a small mountain with cedar trees next to the town. On the backside elevation of this mountain was a cave. They stored up the necessary things to live there. One evening after sundown, they drove in an old car past old Dorset's house. The boy they were planning to kidnap was playing in the street. He was throwing stones at a kitten. Bill called him out. "Hey, little boy, would you like to have a bag of candy and a nice ride?" The boy got angry and threw a stone at Bill. The stone almost hit Bill on his right eye. He was really terrified. And then he shouted, "That'll cost the old man an extra $500, climbing over to the wheel. Sam caught the boy and lifted him. That boy put up a fight like a welterweight champion. But at last they got him. They laid him down in the bottom of the car and drove away. The boy was 10 years old and he seemed not to be afraid at all. He was a very imaginative, daring boy. He imagined that he was a red chief and that Sam and Bill were his prisoners. He called Bill as Old Hank and Sam as Snake Eye. Let's hear about the boy from Sam himself. "Yes, sir, that boy seemed to be having the time of his life. The fun of camping out in a cave had made him forget that he was a captive himself. He immediately christened me as Snake Eye and Spy and announced that when his soldiers returned from the warpath, I was to be broiled at the stake at dawn. That really frightened me in my dreams. Then we had supper, and he filled his mouth full of bacon and bread and gravy and began to talk. He made a dinner speech, something like this: I like this fine. I never camped out before, but I had a pet possum once. I was 9 last birthday. I hate to go to school. Rats ate up 16 of Talbot's aunts' speckled hen's eggs. Are there any real Indians in these woods? I want some more gravy. Mind you, sir, he was eating like a lord. Lots of food. And then he said, do the trees moving make the wind blow? We had 5 puppies. What makes your nose so red, Hank? My father has a lot of money. He kept talking as if he was the master of the tree in the cave. He never had any fear of us. We were worried that we kidnapped the wrong kid. In the evening, the boy told that he would take Bill's scalp in the daybreak and then would burn Sam on the stake. The boy appeared really sick in his mind. And there was a terrible thing that happened early in the morning. Sam was woken up by the screams of Bill. When he got up and saw, the boy was sitting on top of Bill with a knife in hand and he was ready to cut his head off. Sam got terrified and ran and saved Bill. The remaining part of the night, Bill never slept. He kept awake all the time, worried about the boy. The boy slept like a log. Sam wanted to finish quick with the business of that kidnapping. They never had such a terrible kidnapping happen. After breakfast, Sam went to the town for the news concerning Colonel's boy being kidnapped, but the town was peaceful. Returning to the cave, he found Bill very nervous. Bill begged Sam to let the boy go. The two men decided and wrote a letter to the boy's father demanding the ransom of $2,000. The turning point in the story came just now. Sam received the father's answer. It said that Colonel Dorset was ready to take his son back if the kidnappers pay $250 to him. It only meant that if the kidnappers would not pay $250, they might keep the boy with them as well. What? To keep the devil of a boy and suffer hell and death every moment? Now Bill begged Sam that they should return the boy even if they should pay $250. They had the money with them. They knew it was ridiculous. Kidnappers paying ransom? Bill was frightened of the boy, terribly frightened. Finally, Sam accepted it. You know why? Sam too was frightened of the boy. Bill was beyond happiness, and they took the boy home. The boy did not want to go back. The boy was frightened of going to school. When they reached the boy's home, the boy caught Bill's leg and wouldn't let him go. They paid the amount of $250 to the father. The father told that he would keep his boy for about 10 minutes tight. And Bill replied that in 10 minutes he would run fast enough to reach the Canadian border. Both Bill and Sam ran for their very lives. That's the end of the podcast today. Friends and children, this is Professor M. Desangarajan signing off. Thank you.